Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting, informative, slightly entertaining of the Tuckcast with a splash of bourbon.
I thought you were going to say inappropriate.
No, that's only when we're off the air. Shh, quiet down.
It's the outtakes.
We don't want our invisible friend Fred to show up at this podcast here. So yeah. So guys, man, it's great to be sitting in the shop here. It's been very busy. A lot of folks up here taking advantage of these great fishing opportunities that we have. Keep in mind, folks, there's a lot of water still open. Just get up here and take advantage, man. We've got some excellent water, excellent conditions, and just a great time to be out in the water.
It's been a great March so far. You know, it's the weather has actually been a little more consistent than the past few Marches. You know, so that makes for good fishing.
Absolutely,
creeks have been fishing great. So yeah, Shannon, you want to do a quick fishing report here? What do you think, man?
Man, I tell you, it's been a fun time for sure. Especially if your folks are like me and you like to mix in a little bit of topwater activity as well as maybe a small nymph behind, or maybe fishing 2 dry flies. It's a great time for that.
The double dry.
The double dry, man. Double Dutch, the double Dutch bus. Boy. But the dry fly, for sure, has been great. The Charlie Whopper, there for me is a really good fish producer this time of year. We've seen some of this vegetation pop out here earlier than normal this year, and it's kind of spawned on a few more of the insects activity that we're looking for that makes for a great day on the water. Those little pheasant tails have been working really good too. Those beadhead pheasant tails we have here at the shop. A few of those little micro jigs patterns, that I tie up.
The micro jig booger.
The micro jig boogers, man.
Those things have been crushing on float trips.
They are money.
And they're heavy. They get you down.
They're money. Yeah, they will get down for sure.
I like it.
They're awesome. So it's a lot of great patterns we have here in the shop, and it's just a wonderful time to be on the water. If you're not here, you're missing out, folks. Get here as quick as you can.
That's right. Come running.
Give us a call if you want to book a trip. Get out there. You can float the tuck. It's about the only way you can go and be able to fish it.
Yeah, man.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
No, well, I think you guys can slow the boat down, right?
Maybe.
Yes.
There you go. See, there we go. Nice.
Depends on if we're trying to fit 3 full days in 1 full day.
Oh, I got you.
Then we got to speed up.
That's true. That's true. I got you on that, man. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun for sure. Seeing people from all over the southeastern United States too, man. Guys from Alabama and
seems
Florida.
like a lot of Michigan in the shop this week too. A lot of the Yoopers.
Youper. You get the Yoopers up there.
Why are they called Yoopers? What was that?
Upper Peninsula.
Oh,
yeah.
It's still hard. They got that hard water up there right now.
Oh, yeah.
So they got to come south.
Oh,
hard.
yeah.
We're one of their favorites for spring break, man. And they like to come down here and enjoy the weather that we're having and get a break from those highs of 30s and lows in the teens all the time, and come down here to where water is actually flowing.
You fill out them permits for them. You say, "Where are you from?" And they say, "Well, hold up your left hand."
Yeah, they got to do the.
We're just left of your middle finger.
That's true, people.
Have you guys ever been up there?
Is it your left or right hand?
Can we do North Carolina?
It'd be your left.
That'd kind of be like North Carolina.
Yeah, make your fingers like a gun and pull the trigger.
That's North Carolina.
I always thought
we live like right here.
Drop the hammer and you got a North Carolina.
I always thought that the state of Florida looked like a gun, like a pistol. Like if you turned it,
If you turned it on
if
its
you kind
side.
of turn it on its side.
I've always thought Italy looks like a boot.
I've heard that. I feel like I read that somewhere.
I can vouch for it because we sailed around the boot.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I've been. Bobby, you've been to Italy.
I drove through the laces part. That's
Did
where
you?
I was.
Oh, okay.
There was laces up the shin. That was where I was.
I tell you, man, some of those roads. So we get over there. All right, so here's this country boy from Waynesville who had never been to the beach. I had never been to the beach when I joined the Navy. So we fly from Philadelphia, and we go from there, and we land in Rota, Spain. And then from Rota, we go to Italy, and from there it's like that. It's like that night. So they put us on this bus. It's a straight drive bus, a manual transmission for you young folks out there, where you actually have to change the gears using a clutch and stuff.
What?
Manual transmission clutch.
Jack, have you ever driven a manual?
I actually have. Cool. I learned to drive a Saab 9.3 turbo.
Oh,
sweet.
yeah,
Nice.
Saab.
Nice.
Couldn't be a Ford.
Yeah. So they put us on this bus. They give us per diem. They give us this per diem so we can have money to pay for the lodging up there that they've already worked out with these 2 dudes in robes. So this guy's driving us up, and thank God we can't see. It's dark. It's pitch black dark, and we come up to this look like a castle with this iron gate or fence around it, and this gate. So he's tooting the horn, and there's people, and they won't come out. So he backs up and hits the gate. And he backs up again and he rams the gate. So here they come running in like their loafers and their robes and stuff. And we get off the bus and we go in, and everything's like, stone. Everything's, was really elaborate. It really was. And they've got a table. And they do the paperwork that we have to do. And they give us the exact amount of money for us to give to those guys, those Italian dudes. And they assign you a room. But with that, they gave everybody like a 6-pack of beer as was part of the program there. We didn't know how long we would be there. We thought we might get to hang there for a couple of days, So they actually came the next day. They said, "Hey man, we've got a flight going out to the carrier." So they put us on the bus and are driving us down. My God, the roads, and you're trying to pass people. It looked like tight. A goat trail.
Yeah, they're tight.
It's a goat trail, and you're like, dude, man, one false, we're gone, and people just, I'm like, dude.
I've got some great video of driving the Amalfi Coast.
Dude, thank God I didn't see it that night
people,
going up.
Tour buses and
man,
trucks.
That's like the Highlands Road from Franklin to Highlands, man. It ain't that much different.
That ain't got nothing on
No,
this.
It's like one
Even
lane
30
of that.
years ago?
It's tight. It's nuts, man.
It was amazing. So just shoelaces was very appropriate comment on that, for sure.
It is amazing how small those roads are.
Shoot, I went through about a 48-hour sensory overload. Flying from Philadelphia over there, never seen the ocean, waking up from the airplane, looking out the window, seeing the ocean, flown onto the ship. They showed me where my rack is, where we sleep, not Iraq, but what we sleep on, our bunks, okay?
I was thinking like my rack.
Here's the world map.
Yeah.
Here's Iraq.
So you're laying there, where the restroom is, as we called the head. You knew where the mess decks were, and that's about it. And you're laying in your bed, you can't sleep, or at least I couldn't sleep, because they're coming over to the 1MC, which is your speaker system, and they go like 0300 in the morning. Now launch the alert fighter initial vector overhead, and I'm thinking, oh God, I want to die my first day out here.
What's your vector, Victor?
Like what the heck's going on? Not knowing that that's kind of part of the stuff that they do, I was just like, oh my gosh. So boy, we went off on a heck of a tangent, didn't we?
There we go.
Good story.
So what are we talking about?
Yeah,
today?
what was the topic?
The Yoopers. We went from
we talked
the
about
Yoopers
fishing.
being in the shop to Sicily.
We covered it, didn't we? Geography, man. And I did not fish off the boat, by the way, man. Did not do that.
There you go.
There's one dude that did there. Every time he's in port, he had some gnarly stuff, man. Yeah,
At least he tried.
he did. So speaking of fishing, the thing you got to have when you go fly fishing is a fly rod. Makes sense, right? But there's all different types of fly rods, and we like fishing different types of rods. So we kind of thought we would gather here this afternoon and talk about the rods that we like to fish, and maybe places we like to fish them, and just kind of shooting the breeze a little bit about rods. And we, as we said in the car business, there's a butt for every seat. There's a grip for every hand in the fly rod, man. So
true.
I know Jack, you kind of fish rods the different type of rods than I like to fish. What kind of like one of your favorite rods?
I don't know. I do a lot of nymphing. So the 10-foot 30-weight, of course. What am I fishing now? Thomas & Thomas contact.
Are you fishing now?
Yeah, am I fishing? That's a good question. Don't tell my wife. Anyway.
Jack's got a bum shoulder. So.
Yeah, I'm not doing any fishing. This question isn't really appropriate for me, I guess.
When you do fish, though, Jack.
Hypothetically, if I were to fish, I'm a Sage guy. I really like my X rod. It's pretty sweet. It's a little bit faster action.
Is that like your former rod? You said your X rod.
Ha ha ha.
We need like ding.
Yeah.
But what do you basically kind of go through? Like if you were going to dry fly fish, if you were going to nymph fish, if you were going to streamer fish, like give the whole breakdown.
The whole breakdown here. Boy, I like my utility rod, the X. It's a great dry dropper rod.
You've already mentioned the X.
Well, I got to go into detail about it.
We got to get beyond your X, man.
Man, you just got married less than a year ago, and you're still talking about your ex.
My goodness. Man. Well, I have to mention that rod because I fish with it more than anything else in the quiver,
There's so many jokes.
Is that a Sage? Was that her name, Sage?
Who is
Not
this Sage you're
quite.
speaking of?
He's speechless.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He's-
We got it tied up.
He's speechless.
Okay, going through your quiver, Jack.
Yeah, go through the quiver.
Your
All right.
utility is your X.
Other than that, I've got the method. I throw a 7-weight if I want to break out the streamer, or what else do I like?
Method.
Yeah, the method, the 5-weight there. That's a very fast 5-weight.
That's another Sage.
Yeah, that is a Sage. What else?
Does that have saltwater components on it, or is it just
It
pretty
is.
much freshwater streamer rod?
It's one of those crossovers.
Okay, nice.
So, yeah, it's got plenty of butt to send the bigger fly. So, I'd be confident with it in the salt.
Talking about X's, crossovers, and butts.
This is going south
it's
quick
going-
for you, Jack.
I mean, man.
Yeah, I don't know what else you want me to say here.
I think it's Dale's turn.
Dale,
Let's
do it.
let Dale go through a few rods.
Well, let's first of all, we'll start by the ones I like to break the most. It seems like that Sage Foundation, man, is a great rod to guide with. I mean, it really is a great all around rod. But for whatever reason, it is getting warranted the most. And I think it's just maybe clients being careless. I've never seen that. I think Shannon's the only person here who's had a rod break on a fish.
Didn't your dog eat one?
He did. He's ate 2. One wasn't worth the warranty claim, so it got 86. But yeah, he did eat the foundation one time. But hey, thank you, Sage. That's awesome. I remember one time, Jack, we went to Deep Creek. We took a Scott Radian 8.6 5-weight and the Sage X 8.6 5-weight, and wanted to test them out and see what we liked. And they were almost identical. I mean, you could put a fly on a dime out there. And we're talking like close quarters, right? We're not doing hero casts out here on a pond at one of these fly shows. We're just doing 20-foot casts. So I do like,
as far as Jack can cast.
I do like that. I do like the Sage X. I'm with Jack on the X situation.
Oh gosh.
Only because of this, it was close. I was thinking about this today driving over. For whatever reason, again, it could be clients, but I've had 2 tips break on Scott Radians, and that was mainly in casting. And it wasn't fish related or anything; it was casting related. So I don't know if maybe we were doing something wrong, throwing a setup that maybe scored it. There's so many variables there that could cause a tip, but it wasn't a ceiling fan. I know that it was on a trip. So, but that is a fantastic rod. I do. Really like for the nymphing, I really enjoyed that Orvis Recon. That's been a solid stick to nymph with. It comes in that mid-range price point, $450 or so. 10-foot 3-weight. I think they got 10.5. It's got fighting butt with it. So yeah, the components are fantastic. And then for streamer stuff, I'm gonna have to go over to Scott, and that Scott Title section is a really fun streamer setup to fish. So 6 through 8 weight for chasing smallmouth, or and they are saltwater components, so you can take them down to the coast if you want. So yeah, I guess that's if you take a trip with me, that's what you're going to be fishing, pretty much is that rundown.
Yeah, I think it's for you folks that don't realize, we are recording here in the shop. So if you hear any background noise and stuff,
That trailer just came across the railroad tracks.
So if you hear some stuff, it's because Bryson City is just a great touristy town. So we are here, not in a recording studio, but we all fish differently. I am the guy. I'm more this. I consider a small stream guy in my rods. As we talked, a few episodes back about the travel luggage that I wasn't a part of there, but we open our cases and we all have something a little bit different. I enjoy fishing the Scott, G series there. Definitely 8 foot 8 inch 4-weight. Let me clarify that. I think it's a great rod for the type of waters we have here. You can do dry flies, you can do nymphs, you can do dries and nymph combinations with it to have the accuracy you're looking for. And it's a medium, medium action rod. It's got a good recovery rate to it. It feels real good, balances well. It's a non-fatiguing rod, but American-made rod, made out in Montrose, Colorado, there. And then I love fishing these small creeks. branches, things like that. And fiberglass rod is a blast to fish, and got that Scott F Series glass. It's a 3-weight, breaks down into 5 pieces. That's a fun rod to fish.
Oh yeah,
that really is a fun one. So when you're out there with me, those are the type of rods you'll get. Now when it comes to nymphing, and there's people that want to do that, I think the clear. You didn't mention a Clearwater, Dale, but that Clearwater rod with the money right there is what a great value that one is.
That new Clearwater.
Yeah, the new Clearwater Nymph Series rod. It's got the fighting butt. Comes in 195, 198. I think you're looking at a lot of the tapers and things they learned on the Recon there for sure. That's a good one too. To have out there. But the Echo. I think we've all kind of guided with that Shadow too, 10-foot 3-weight as well, and those rods perform good. As far as owning like a 2-handed rod, I don't own any of those. I did that with Bobby, and I went out and we did that on the Tuck, and I really enjoyed that. Something I might like to try to get into, going forward in the future there. But and those are some of the things I like to fish, and I do like to fish bamboo. If Casey was here, golly, Casey talked you bamboo to death. But
he would, yeah.
He would. And sometimes I actually think with maybe some one-on-one people, he'll actually pull it out and guide with it sometimes in the right situation there for sure. But that's kind of how, what I like to fish and the way I like to do it. I'm not big on the streamers or smallie, so I don't have those anything. My heaviest rod I have is a 4-weight.
Well,
Wow.
What'd you streamer fish up on the Delaware?
That I think that was
the
6.
first time you'd really done
right.
that.
It was. That was a 6-weight. It was a Sage, but I can't remember what it was there. Now, when we was out in Montana last year, when we was with Hoovler, Bobby cast the Helios 3 6-weight, and then I was using the 5-weight, and we never got a chance to switch rods off. Because I would have liked to, done that rod. But
you fished something with Nick too on the Yellowstone. That was a 6-weight.
No, that was a 5. We were using a 5.
Was that one a 5?
It was a 5. Yeah.
I remember, I know you had a couple.
Yeah, that was a.
I don't remember what
5.
they were now.
Yeah, it was a Helios 3.
Was it?
It was not the. It's not the super fast rod. It's the other one there. That seems to be what they like. Yeah. So Bobby, what?
Eagle Claw, baby.
I just got asked if we had any in stock at the Mountain Perks. Yes.
Eagle Claw, baby.
I've
It's a good rod, man. I mean, it works. Gets it done. I'm a Scott guy. I like all the Scott rods.
You're a Scott ambassador too. You're pro.
Do they call it ambassador?
Professional.
Yeah, Bobby's on the website, y'all. If you hadn't been, go to scottflyrods.com. Bobby's on the website.
Is Shannon too?
Shannon is too, apparently.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. Man, you've been holding
I didn't
out
know
on
that.
us, dude.
Shh, quiet down.
We need to is somebody wreck out there?
That trailer, man.
Same trailer.
He's driving back by.
There's like 5 ambassadors in North Carolina, and 2 of them work for Tuckasegee Fly Shop.
There we
One's
go.
a co-owner, and one's an employee.
So, yeah, I mean, I like them all. I mean, as far as the Scott lineup, I mean, I probably fish the most if I had my, what you call it in your quiver? What did you call the X, your utility rod?
Yeah.
I like that.
Do it all.
I use the,
It's like your fairway driver.
yeah. Just hit it all. 7-iron all the way through. Some Roy
10
McElroy.
cup.
Yeah. We're going to 7-iron it out. I use the Flex 10-foot 4-weight. That's probably my favorite rod from a single-handed aspect. I do like the G, but I only use the G for really light presentations.
You know what's interesting about the G is we have a 9-foot 5-weight Scott G, and when you pick up the Sage X, man, they are like a 9-foot 5 Sage X. They are almost identical. Like the G, like when you pick up the 883 or 4, it is a casting rod, good, slow action to it. But when you get that 9.5, things change for that G. And I hadn't fished that yet. I want to, but it seems amazing.
They just came out with the Sector, which if you cast that, it is like a. I mean,
We can go cast one right now.
That thing slings it.
We still got a 9-weight here.
It's a good rod. So that's one if you're going to do redfish or tarpon or anything like that. Bonefish, the Sector would probably be the title's good, but the Sector is probably a little better. But yeah, there's all those things. I do a lot of 2-handed rods. I like them. They're fun. I enjoy the casting of that more. So I've got a wide range of those because kind of when I was getting more into it, it was like, which one do I like? Or I shouldn't say which one do I like, but which size of rod do you want? You know, from a switch rod to a spey rod, you know, length of it, you know, weight of the rod, all that. So, I mean, I've got everything from a little trout spey up to, I think a 7 weight, like 12, it might be 13 foot spey rod. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but I've got them in Scott. I've got them in Redington. Echo makes a good one if you're looking kind of for that price point. So all of those are good. It just depends on what you like, what you can afford. You know, price point's a thing. I think the more important thing with the rod is to make sure you match it up with the right line. So if you get anything out there, get a good fly line. Don't buy the cheaper fly line. Get the more expensive. I mean, go ahead and spend $70 to $100 on fly line, and you'll probably get the most out of that rod, what it can do. So, you know, for me, Scott is where I'm at. It's not just because they're made me an ambassador. It's more because I just like them. I also like the look of it. I think that's part of it. You know, it's
that
like
unsanded finish.
Well, yeah, and it's like when you have a set of golf clubs. If you like the look of it, you just feel like you play better. You probably don't. You probably still suck. But
Got to look good to play good.
yeah,
I'm a believer.
Yeah, so you know, if you like the way they look, it's good. Yeah, so that's kind of my opinion on it.
You know, it's funny how like you can pick up a rod and it just feels right. It's like the grip. You know, our hands. I don't have a big hand, but just how certain rod grips just feel better. And for me, that's a good starting
half
point.
whales or whatever.
You know, if it feels comfortable, then I can start breaking it down as far as a rod selection. Of course, starting that process.
Yeah.
You remember Jack last year? You know, we were fishing, some beautiful water there, and you were fishing that. I think it was Casey's Scott rod. Wasn't that like a 3-weight?
Yeah, I think that was a 7.5 footer.
G Series 3-weight, man.
Right.
Yeah, he had just gotten that too.
Yeah,
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, you had it matched up, I think, with that hatch reel.
Yeah.
Hatch on it.
So is that your favorite brookie setup you fished so far?
Yeah, it's pretty solid. I don't own it, but I would like to.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
yeah.
What's your favorite brookie rod, Shannon?
You know, fish. It's that fiberglass. Yeah, well,
it's not a
Eagle
bad one.
Claw. I've got one of those hanging up on the wall that my papa.
It's probably made in
has.
Denver too, isn't it?
But
the new ones are made in China.
but that Scott fiberglass 5-piece rod is fun. At first, it was an adjustment process, Dill, because of the amount of flex that was in it. You know, the hook sets. Struggling with that at first, but once I got that down, I fished it. Casey's fished it. I
hadn't fished it
I don't
either.
think Jack. I don't believe you fished it.
Yeah,
up
you
there that
touched
day.
it.
But it's
I wiggled it.
But man, the fact that it's 5 pieces, it just goes down so small.
Yeah.
But it does. It's a fun one to fish for sure. I just like fiberglass. I like that action of
It's
a
nostalgic.
fiberglass.
I mean,
Yeah, I grew up fishing fiberglass.
yeah.
It's
It's like the number 2 pencil. Like it still works.
I haven't fished a lot of fiberglass. I should probably branch out and try it.
Gosh, I remember getting my
I've
first.
casted that fiberglass spey from Echo.
Yeah,
Holy cow! I did that with
You know
Chris
what?
Weatherford.
I did cast his spey rod. That right? Yeah.
I need a ski helmet.
It is totally different. Like you gotta wait and wait and wait before you come. Yeah, it's a little tougher. It's definitely more timing.
So my brookie setup, I've got and many clients have fished this rod, but and it's a personal rod, but it's a Steffen Brothers, I think. It's a custom deal, and it was made specially for what's called the Bone Valley Fishing Club. And I bought it from a guy over in East Tennessee that was just getting rid of a bunch of stuff, but apparently that's a fishing club, Bone Valley Fishing. I don't know. They go to Hazel Creek. Imagine that. But this thing is 6.5 foot, 3 or 4 weight. I can't remember, but yeah, mashed it up with a Hatch 2+, and now if I fall on a rock, that reel's still going to work. So that was a big reason I switched to a pricier reel on a brook trout setup. I had a Redington 0, and it laid a 0. Client fell on it, dinged it, and that was it. It wasn't even worth the warranty claim. So, but yeah, that's my favorite. What you got a favorite brookie setup, Bobby? Did I ask you already?
It means be Scott.
Yeah. I guess a Scott. Yeah.
I mean, I do have that little. I've got the 4-weight, which is probably a little much for brookies with the hatch. It's very similar to what Casey's got. It's just a little longer and not a 3-weight that I like. So that's what I would probably fish. I bet that 3-weight's a little better on those blue line streams.
You know, Scott's got that cult following too. Like, you know, like Ben Bergen, the guides for us, he's certainly falls into that category where he's got some of the original Scott S1s. They just be the S for salt, or the A, and they do the alphabet thing. So they got a real simple lineup that's easy for consumers to understand, easy for guys like me to understand. So I'm a Scott fan. I mean, just based on that alone. I don't like what Sage is doing with, like, I don't know what rods are new or.
Man,
they're all over the place.
They got something new every year. Feels like
twice a year they'll come out with something new, and
it's tough to keep up with.
Yeah, like, is the Method even a current rod? Do you know, or have they already moved on from it?
They've probably moved on from that. I don't know off the top of my head.
Nobody knows.
Yeah,
they came out with the light line, the Trout light line.
Yeah, that's a good line.
They've came out with the Payload,
the Igniter.
So let's go back 2 years now. I say within the last 24 months, the Igniter, the Dart, yeah.
Which I will say for brookie fishing, that 6.5 foot 3-weight Sage Dart is pretty amazing.
Now that's a fast rod.
Yes, but once you get a little bit of line out, it changes.
The thing's smaller than a pencil in diameter. Like, that's
it
crazy.
Is. It's got that
how
kinetic
skinny
HD.
It is.
Yeah,
and
it is tiny.
And the great thing about that being, if you want to look at one and purchase one, we've got that rod here, as well as the one of the Scott Fluxes too.
You can give it the wiggle test.
We can hook you up with either one of those rods, and they're great rods to fish, no doubt about it.
Come in and do it. What do you call it? The Bryson City Bounce and the Silva Shake or something?
So
that's what you do.
I think I came up with terminology there. It was the Silva Shake, it was the Bryson City Mount, and I think it was the Waynesville Wiggle.
The Waynesville. Yeah. I remember a guy came in here and he told me, rod ain't no good if when you do this right here, it don't bounce and hit the floor. Like, so when you jerk it up.
He was trying to get the tip to hit the floor.
It might have been Mac. I don't know. I could totally see Mac doing this. This rod ain't no good if you don't just do this right there and it just smack the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually, I think it might have been Mac, the more I think about this thing. But, yeah, the Bryson City Bounce. Yeah. You know, everybody's done it. You go pick up a rod, and the first thing you do is you shake it.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've all done it.
Everybody gives it the wiggle.
Yeah. I'm guilty.
It's like you put, you're at the sporting goods store and you pick up that golf club.
The waggle.
You wave it. You waggle it like you're at the tee box.
Waggle.
Like you get
What's
ready.
called, Jack?
You get ready to tee off on out 3.
No,
I hadn't heard of the waggle.
No, Braden just heads over to the putting green, man. He's going to putt every one of those. He's going to use them all.
Got to do the waggle.
The waggle. The putting green. He heads right over. Yeah, absolutely. And the fly lines, Bobby. You can take an inexpensive rod in with a great fly line, and it changes the whole dynamic. You got, we've talked about that there in the past, but absolutely changes the whole feel of our setups. I'm fishing mostly weight forward fly lines, or probably all weight forward fly lines. So my setups, I think it probably goes for most of us, unless it's a nymphing specific setup.
I would agree.
Yeah. I've got one reel with some, I think it's that Scientific Angler Type 5-3-1 sink. I don't really know what that means. It's complicated. I think that's
that's the reason you pull out the book and read through it.
Inches per second sink rate there, IPS, or whatever it is.
You got to kind of go through all that.
Yeah, it's weight forward. Certainly, I think the thing is double tapers are popular too around here. Certainly a utility line. You can roll cast easy and then flip it right around and have a brand new line once you wear it out. So, hey, one thing I just thought about. What do y'all think about warranties? Who do y'all think's got the best warranty from experience and paper? Like, what do they say?
I've never had a bad experience with any of them, so I don't have any issues with that. Sage revamped theirs 18 months ago, maybe now, or something like that, to where it's not just a flat rate for any rod. They kind of did the current lineup versus what they call it. Recently discontinued.
Recent rods and then discontinued.
Discontinued completely. And it's a different obviously the further away you are from 2020, like if you got one from 1995, it's going to cost more to warranty it.
That's like when I went to that Mac store and I said, "Can y'all fix this computer?" And they said, "This is what we call obsolete."
So, that's kind of
no.
I feel like that's a for them. I can understand because I'm sure these companies spend a lot on warranty claims.
Especially if Finn chews up a foundation.
Yeah, so I can see that being a good way to do it. Most everybody else, I think, just kind of has a flat rate, don't they? Orvis is a little different too.
Orvis just came out with a new program.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to kind of take a look at that and see.
But yeah, I'm not super familiar because it is pretty much brand new.
Brand new.
Scott's based on serial numbers, right?
At some point, it will expire. It's a limited lifetime, I guess that you'd call it, because basically every time a rod comes off, that serial number gets further away, and every year they update that serial number.
So if we all just quit selling Scott rods, that would extend.
Dale's finding a way to.
But I
twist
mean,
it.
the serial number is like 30 years ago. So I mean, most people that's become kind of an heirloom. They're probably not even fishing it.
Bergen's
anymore.
got some outside of the window.
So I mean, it goes back pretty good ways. And then Echo and Reddington and those guys, it's $35 or something.
Yeah, I've had a couple Echo Shadows that are broken, and
Definitely.
it's not been easy to get those replaced because now they only want to ship you the tip section because that's the most common break on that rod is a 10'3" nymphing setup, but they're out of stock all the time of the tip section. So it's like I can't warranty this rod. I don't know. I've not been too impressed there in the last 8 months. They're trying to get that taken care of. I was looking into that again today, and it's just floating out there.
Yeah, that definitely would put a hamper in our guide fleet there for a while.
One thing I do like that they're doing is making sure they're registered to the first owner,
the original owner.
And we had a situation today where I wasn't sure the owner of a rod, and I called and verified the serial number, and it matched up. So we're happy to help that customer, get that warranty taken care of.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole eBay selling used rods, and it's kind of not fair to the manufacturer that it gets passed between a bunch of people
or the shop.
Yeah. So it makes sense to do that to the original owner. So a lot of these companies now, when you buy the rod, it has a card in it that says make sure that you register the rod.
You got some of them are even putting times
like within 30 days of buying it or something like that. So
30 days.
Super important to hop online and register that thing.
And it's easy. It's not that difficult to do. It takes a couple minutes and you're done.
Yep.
Protect yourself. I mean, you're protecting your investment because you've made an investment in it.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely. Take care of it.
Jack, a rod I really like that you have that I got to fish a lot in Montana last year is that Sage Circa.
Oh, yeah.
That thing is
one.
a dry
Merry Christmas.
fly. Yeah. Happy New Year.
We gave that to Jack for a Christmas present one year.
Yeah.
From the shop.
Nice,
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think it was his first
full year. Yeah.
That's what we gave him.
Merry
Christmas. He probably sold that thing on eBay already.
No, I know exactly where it is.
Yeah, he still got it.
Yeah, it's at I sold it to a guy named Roy. I know where it's at. He lived over in Tennessee.
He just Venmo'd me.
Oh, man.
Whew.
Oh, man. I never got to fish the Circa. He's never let me fish
It's
it,
fun.
man.
Bobby, you don't fish, though.
He never let me fish it.
I had to.
Speaking the truth.
I went fishing this morning.
Boom.
Oh, did you? Oh, where did you go, Bobby?
I can't tell you. Stop.
Oh, boy.
The river.
The river.
That Circa, I had to fish that on the Madison in 40-mile-an-hour winds, and I just pretty much let the wind cast it. But it got it done. It got the hook set done. It was a lot better than the other rod that I was using. That was about it. I mean, it was sort of neat to get to see how far rods have come. So the first day, Finn's trying to walk through some wires here.
Yeah, I heard him. I heard him hitting one of the cords
He
with
ain't
his
trying.
tail.
He did.
The first day I fished a G Loomis Pro 4X manufacture date circa 2001. So, man, it's amazing to see hook set technology and where, rod technology, where it's come from. Because I fished that rod, and I think, Jack? I boated 4 fish. I can't do anything about the wire jack, man. It's where Bobby's got me. Sorry.
What are we talking about?
This keeps hitting the mic. It is what it is.
There you go.
Hey, buddy.
Let's do a little adjustment.
I think Finn needs to go out. So day one on the Madison, fishing the Pro 4X G Loomis, boating 3 fish. The next day, fishing the Sage Circa, same conditions. I don't know, Jack. It was double digits.
Yeah, pretty windy. Definitely.
Pretty windy day, but
you got it done though.
Yeah. Well, and that was one of the first times I think I've really seen the technology advances make that big of a difference. And it was all in the hook, like how the top section of that rod bent when I went to set a hook with 40 feet of line out, how it reacted. So it does make a difference. It doesn't catch the fish for you, obviously. Like that $90 rod will still land some fish, but there's little things that happen in fishing that the technology in these rods help. So,
and I think that's it. Technology is like, where does it top out at? As far as rods, they're lighter. The materials have changed through the years. I mean, how many ways can you come up with how to wrap graphite? How many ways can you come up with changing the taper of the rod? How many different ferrule configurations can you come up with?
Yeah.
Is one day it's got to like tap out.
Where
somewhere.
are we going to top out at?
Yeah, I mean it does, but there is a difference. I my first rods they were heavy, and even reels. Reels, you can get a super light reel that's made very, very well. Machined, and that's super nice. It's going to be, like you said, bulletproof. But somewhere it's got to stop, I think.
Maybe. We were having that same conversation about photography with Andy the other day.
Yeah.
At what point is it like the resolution so great that the eye can't even pick it up?
Yeah, we can't tell the difference in it.
Yeah. Like, does it matter if it's 4K or 6K?
Yeah.
That's
That's
a good point.
It's true.
Like the human eye is only going to be so good. But even photography can't pick up certain things that the human eye can pick up. So it's still kind of interesting.
Yeah,
but
no doubt, man.
who knows, man, technology?
I don't know. I don't think none of us know.
Well, that's a good topic. Hopefully y'all got a good something out of all that. Us just rambling about rods.
I think the biggest thing to take away is that we all do things differently.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're right.
I think we forget about that, but we all kind of, in some ways, specialize in something that's a little bit different. A lot of it does cross over. And, having a conversation with each one of us here, and we have our strong points in the type of waters and rods we like to fish and some others. And that's why it's so cool about the shop that we have here and employees we have. It's really well diverse. And I think this kind of shows that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, very cool.
We learned that Jack likes the X.
He likes the X.
I don't like my X.
He's a fan of his X.
I don't like my X.
Well, we appreciate everybody listening. If y'all have any questions on the rods and all that, there's a ton of info, obviously online, but sometimes it's good to hear it in person or come by and do the Bryson City bounce on it, or the Waynesville wiggle, or the Silva shake, or whatever. Give us a call, come by, check them out. We're happy to kind of let you bend our ear about it, and we'll see if we can't help you pick the right rod.
Absolutely. It's a great thing, man. You go out there and you take a trip with us. You're having a chance to try out some wonderful rods before you might want to make that purchase. Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
So
yeah, I think
cool deal.
Well, good deal.
All hearts and minds clear?
I think so, man. I think so, man. It was great being back with everybody again here. Looking forward as we're getting ready to hit April.
I can't believe we're that close to it, man.
Can you believe it? Dude,
Christmas. It's almost Christmas.
It's almost here.
Dude, don't.
Christmas is coming.
Don't go there. Don't go about the Christmas thing, man.
Shannon's birthday's coming. The big one this year.
Oh boy, that is October, but please,
it's coming. It's not far away.
My goal was
remind him every episode
is like to make this like the best year ever.
5-0, baby. 5-0.
It's been a challenge.
That's like the police, man. 5-0. 5-0 is coming.
Hawaii 5-0, man.
It's coming.
With Kojak,
is
man.
40 over the hill or 50?
40. Well,
Lordy.
I don't know.
Dale's 40, but 50's over.
My 4-0's
I'm
this
not
year.
40 yet.
Mine's here. I turned 40.
I didn't say you
Shannon
was,
turns
but-
50. Man,
You said Lordy Dale's 40.
I was just throwing out the saying out there. I don't know how old you are. Y'all are young pups. All of y'all's young pups.
You ain't no bird, doggy.
I ain't no spring chicken no more, fellers.
Jack will be like 22 maybe this year. I don't know.
Hey, 27. We're getting there.
27? Wow.
In about 10 years, you won't correct when I say, "Hey, he'll be 32." You'll be
You're right.
That's right.
I might be able to grow a beard by then too. Who knows?
You'll still be getting carded.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
and I won't be complaining.
Well, good deal, man. Well, it was. We appreciate you folks listening to another one of the Tuck Casts with a splash of bourbon. Feel free to share the podcast with your friends, like, subscribe, and
Hit us up on YouTube as well. Subscribe there.
YouTube.
Yeah, I think we're experimenting with putting an actual video of the podcast up on YouTube. So if that is up, we're experimenting. So if this comes out and it's not up, don't yell at us.
All the episodes are on YouTube, but
we're going to try to have it live
get away
video.
from a static logo.
Yeah, or not a live video, but a real video.
But there are some live videos of
Other stuff.
tying and
Big mess.
things and stuff like that too.
We're going to start doing what do you call it? Minutes with Bennett?
Minute with Bennett.
Minute with Bennett. So we're going to start doing some knot videos and crazy stuff like
Little
that too.
how-tos and things.
So we'll put those up on YouTube too.
A minute with Bennett. You only got 60 seconds.
Yeah, it's kind of like
It'll be more than a minute.
Yeah, I mean, it's like define a minute. Like, give me a minute, right? I mean, it's subjective.
It's going to be like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a play on words with like the in it to win it.
A minute with Bennett as we talk about the Amadou patch stream side.
That's right. Fungus among us.
Had to throw the Amadou in there somehow.
There we go.
Got the Amadou in. All right, man.
Tight lines, y'all.
Thanks, folks. We'll catch you on the next episode of the Tuck Cast with a splash of bourbon.